Mr. Dunn Tripping. Right now, you tuned in to All Hip Hop.
All right, you are now tuned in to All Hip Hop with Don Trip.
Yeah.
So let's jump into this. This year
Uh-huh.
has been a really great year for you.
Indeed. It's been fun.
So
I
we
must say.
know you've been dropping music every month
So far.
this year. Was
So
did you
far.
plan that?
Not quite. It kind of happened how it happened. I'm a person that, well, at least now, I kind of go with the flow more. Say,
Mhm.
I don't try to, sit and perfect everything now. So, 1 month turned into two, and then just, two turned into nine so far. So,
Okay, so I don't know if y'all know, but we have
mm.
a legend right here.
Oh, indeed, I
So
appreciate that.
I put you in the same bracket as like J. Cole and the Kendrick Lamar's. Like even though
Oh,
you're
that's
not,
yeah,
I
yeah. I
mean,
can dig that. I
yeah, I mean,
appreciate
you're
that.
not mainstream though,
Right, right.
which is a good thing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with not being
No,
mainstream.
not at all. My pockets do not complain.
Right. Y'all
Indeed.
heard that. He gets the money. So, I want to know,
Okay.
like, how do you come up with your lyrical, metaphors?
I don't know life. I don't know. I think at some point early on I learned how to, I guess, illustrate or how to make my words vivid.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I just I stick to my truths and not I don't really make nothing up. So the metaphors kind of make themselves, if that make any sense.
Okay. So, I mean, did you grow up reading the dictionary?
I actually did. It was a punishment. Um, I had to read the dictionary. I had to read encyclopedias. I used
Mm.
to. I guess I'm still smart aleck, but I guess I was a smart aleck child.
Mhm.
So my mama she used to say, if you don't know something, you ask.
Mm.
So every time I didn't know something, or it could be a conversation. It could be her cussing me out. If I didn't know what if I didn't understand the
Mhm.
word that she used, I'd ask, and she'd say, "Look it up." So at some point, I got smart. I'm like, "Look it up how? Am I supposed to go to the library every time you say something I don't understand?"
Uh-huh.
And she duped me. She did me one up, and one day I came home, she had like an encyclopedia set. So every time after that, if I had a question, I had to go look it. I literally had to look it up.
Oh,
So
okay.
I grew up with man, it was about 30 different books. It was an encyclopedia set like A through N, then N through Z,
Uh-huh.
and then their numbers and all. So
Well, we thank you, Mom, because look, we wouldn't have this lyrical, talented artist today if
oh,
it wasn't
indeed,
for her.
indeed, she definitely
So,
get the credit for that one.
so did you grow up a bad or good child?
I don't know. I guess I would say I was a mixture of both.
Mhm.
Um, I want to say all children are mischievous, of course. 'Cause I think you're curious, you want to explore. So I wasn't like the kid that was out. I don't know I don't know if it's called the same thing in New York as called in Memphis, but like juvenile facilities. I wasn't in and
Okay.
out of no juvenile facilities or nothing like
Okay.
that. But I was I wasn't no saint either, not even close. And it was a darker part of my life where being at home just
Mhm.
wasn't wasn't the ideal thing. So we was out doing stuff we ain't had no business.
Okay. So what y'all was out there doing? What you was doing?
I will just say stuff we ain't had no business. I don't know statute of limitations on some of the things that
Oh,
we might have
okay.
done. I don't want to be one of them, one of them guys that set myself up for future indictments from
Oh
old
no.
activities.
We gonna move on from that.
Right. Indeed. Indeed.
So, if you can also tell us, how was it growing up in, Tennessee?
I don't know. I would like to say, every hood's the same. We grew up in you know, I don't want to call it poverty. It wasn't
Mhm.
that far down the road, but it wasn't it wasn't so fortunate. So we experienced a lot of things that a lot of the typical things I guess you would say from urban neighborhoods. I
Mhm.
didn't have like we didn't have like private schools and nothing like that. I grew up I grew up in a space where you had to go and get it. You couldn't want no favors, when nobody gonna give it to you. You had to go and get it.
So, who was some rappers, that you looked up to as a kid?
Oh man, 3 6 Mafia, of course.
That's a good one.
8 Ball, MJG, Player
Mm-hmm.
Fly. Man, Memphis music for the most part was the drive for me. Uh, at a certain point in my life, I was exposed to like more music or more or a broader band of music.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up listening to like Jadakiss, Jay Z,
Okay.
LL Cool J, Ja Rule. Man, it's an endless list. I pretty much just listen to everything I can get my hands on. At some point, I could as I grew up, I could relate more to certain things than
Mm-hmm.
other things. So some of the music stuck. Some of it, some of it I listened to when I was younger, not so much growing up.
Okay. I want to just back up a little. I know
Okay,
you said 3 6 Mafia.
indeed.
So I noticed you have a song called Project Pat.
Yeah, yeah. Project Pat is a person. Well, I know Project Pat personally,
Mm-hmm.
and he man, I don't really know how you would describe Project Pat. Project Pat is the kind of person that like I've never seen him in a bad mood. I've never seen him have to like react to something, but you can tell just by how he is when on a daily basis that he's a serious person.
Okay.
And he always embraced me, even when when the name Don Trip didn't mean anything. He
Mm-hmm.
always showed love, and even when I see him now, it's a mutual thing. And my level of respect for Project Pat is astronomical, and that's one of them people that no matter, it's always a pleasure to see him. Like I did a show a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Might not have been a few weeks ago. Might have been like a week or two. Either way, I did a show not too long ago, and I wasn't expecting to run into Project Pat,
Okay.
and he just happened to be there. He was on the same bill, and even that, just running into him is always a pleasure. And he one of them people that, as far as like Memphis music, Project Pat is a man. He's Project Pat is truly a pioneer.
Yes, he
If
is.
nobody, give him his flowers, I think he definitely deserved it for Memphis. I don't think I would exist if it wasn't a Project Pat.
Mm-hmm. So, are there any legends that's from Memphis that you haven't worked with yet that you would like to work with, in the future?
Well, I don't have like a bucket list of people to work with,
Mm-hmm.
but it's people that I consider legendary that I haven't worked with that I'm more than willing to work with. Speaking of which, Frazier Boy from 360. Well, I don't know. They got a lot of names. I don't know which part of which they supposed to
Mm-hmm.
belong to. But Frazier Boy's a person I actually owe him a feature.
Okay.
But I think I got records with just about everybody. Maybe Player Fly's probably one of the few people I don't have a record with.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm more than willing to work with. I don't know if I don't know how active Fly is right now with with new music, but
Mm-hmm.
he fit in that same boat for me. He's a pioneer too.
Yes, he is. So, I understand that you're a dad.
Indeed.
So, my question would be, how do you juggle being a rapper and a dad at the same time?
I just never stop being a dad. I can stop being a rapper. I can,
Mm-hmm.
when the cameras go off, when the microphone is unplugged, then the rap is not there. I don't rap at home. I don't rap. Sometimes I record at home, but I mean, I don't. My whole day, my whole existence is in music.
Mm-hmm.
So parenting kind of come first, even if my kid's not with me. That's top priority. And at this point, I rap so I can provide as a father. So
Okay.
I think that kind of helped juggle it. But I separate the two. Like if I'm moving around, if I'm out and about, if
Mm-hmm.
if I'm moving with my guys, then I'm more than willing to take pictures. I don't do them. Some people want you to FaceTime and talk to their auntie and their little cousin. I don't do all that. But I'm more than eager to take a picture with a fan or write autograph or something like that. But when I got the kids, then ain't no time for none of that. Because in
Yeah.
real time, with children, like I said a second ago, children are curious.
Right.
So the last thing I would want to happen is to be focused on this fan who's trying to take a picture or want to tell me how much they love whatever. And we while we doing that, what are my kids doing? I could turn if we in the
Right.
parking lot, it's a lot of, I don't really want to jinx it, but it's a lot of,
Mhm.
it can go, that could go south real fast, and it would be my fault because I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention to this, in real time. It's a complete stranger. So when I don't got the kids, then
Mhm.
I could be I'm accessible then. But when I got the kids, whether you see me or not, we can be out and about, and sometimes it be places where it's a once in a lifetime thing. I would probably never be in that space again, and
Mhm.
you wouldn't run into me again, and that just is what it is. But
So, when it come down to your kids, because it sounds like you're a really great dad,
I appreciate
I
that.
want to know if like there's certain type of music that you allow your kids to listen to and not listen to.
Of course. I don't let them listen to vulgar music.
Uh huh.
It's a lot of it out, so that's it's not the easiest thing to avoid. And for the most part, I encourage them to listen to clean edits of whatever it is that they listen to.
Mhm.
Now, when they're not with me, I can't, there's no way for me to dictate what they listen to. I can only hope that, that whatever it is that they listening to, they understand, that they understand what they listening to, if this
Right.
makes any sense. So, when it's a vulgar record, when certain words are mentioned, then my kids know, at least for the most part, to turn away from whatever that record
Mhm.
is. But again, some of my children's mothers, feel
Mhm.
differently about different things. So I don't really know what they listen to when they're not with me, but when they are with me, we keep it clean. And I don't know, I'm one of them people that, like I said, it means something to me for you to understand what you're listening to. So if we
Right.
listening to a record, and I don't I don't like name dropping. So if we
Mhm.
listening to a record and it's a street record, then me and my son are gonna have a conversation. Do you understand what they saying?
Mhm.
A lot of times he's not really saying anything other than the negative part of it, or the part that's supposed to be fun.
Right.
So we have a conversation about it. This song says this, this, and this, but do you understand what they're saying? And if you
Mhm.
do you understand what happens if this is how you actually live?
Right.
Because a lot of times music is a lot of times they leave too much out of it. It's like now music is like watching a trailer when it's supposed to be like watching the movie. They
Right.
leave so much. They leave so much of the truth out of it, or they leave a lot of the facts out. And for kids, the last thing I want is, like, I grew up when I want to say I was a teenager. Like the Columbine thing happened,
Uh huh.
and a lot of the people in the media blame rap music. They like the
Mm.
kids were supposed to listen to some kind of rap when rap whatever albums they were supposed to be listening to.
Mhm.
The media start targeting the artists,
Oh, word.
but in real life, I didn't force you to do anything.
Mhm.
And that's the last excuse I want to ever make. So when they listening to music, I make sure I'm as involved as possible, because I can't I can't say rap music makes you do it. In real
Right.
time, I know better than that, because rap ain't never made me do anything. So
Mhm. So, do your kids know that you're a rapper?
yeah, they fully aware. They are fully aware.
So, do they have any favorite songs by you?
They individually they like certain things. For the most part, they like when their names get mentioned. If it's a
Uh
song and their
huh.
name pop out, then that's their favorite record
Oh, that's
until
sweet.
another one is. So I love it. I don't mention them for that purpose, but
Mhm.
it's fun to see, just to see my 8-year-old loves the song Two Magazines, because she named in the song. And
Okay.
Two Magazines, clearly I'm talking about firearms, so
Uh
it's
huh.
funny to see.
That's one of her favorite
Right,
songs
right,
by
of
you.
course.
Okay. So you have been doing a lot of great things within your community.
Indeed.
So I noticed that you work with the youth back in, Memphis,
Right.
and then you also have a few investments on top of that within, clothes, real estate. But I just wanted to know, would you ever venture off into like the fast food like chain?
No, I'm afraid of stuff like that. I know like 99% of
Mhm.
restaurants fail the first year.
Mm.
Food is not I don't know, it's just that's one of them risks I just ain't willing to take. It's a lot come with that. And I don't know, it's just that's just one of them things I'm afraid of.
Mhm.
Now, just about everything else, I'm willing to try, but just not. I don't want to have no kind of restaurants or. Now, I would do maybe like how they do like invest in a food chain maybe,
Mhm.
but nothing that would like directly tie me to it. Like I would own a Chick-fil-A or something, but I wouldn't
Mm,
have
okay.
like a Christopher's restaurant.
Mhm.
I ain't going that far into it.
I mean, see me, I wanted to own a church's chicken
Churches.
just so I can
Okay.
eat all the biscuits.
Oh, okay. I don't think you're gonna make much money if you're eating all of your inventory, but that's interesting.
Right. So, I
I
mean,
got my guy Charlie loves churches.
okay,
Yeah,
yes, churches is really good. So, I mean, what about you? You like churches? Because they coming with the biscuits now. Now, be for real.
I haven't had churches since I was broke. I ain't been broke in a long time, so it's been a while since I had churches. Yeah, it's been a long time.
He's like, no, I don't do no churches. Well, you must eat healthy.
I don't know if you can call it healthy, but I it ain't just food, but
Uh huh.
for me, I don't like to do anything that reminds. I'm sorry, I don't like to do anything that reminds me of of darker moments in my life. If that make any
Mm,
sense,
okay.
it's not that churches didn't do nothing to me, of course.
Uh huh.
But when I was broke, that's what I could. That's all I could afford. So eating churches, that's what it take me back to. It take me back to that space.
Mm,
So
okay.
I don't do. It's a lot. I don't eat cold cuts because that's what I had to eat when I was broke.
Oh,
So
okay.
I don't. Now, when I say broke, I mean like when you got to scrape. I don't
Mhm.
mean like you spent all your money on bills, kind of broke. A lot of
Okay.
us are broke in that sense. But I mean like we didn't have nothing. So a lot of things. I try not to be put back in that mind
Mm.
frame, if that make sense at all.
Yeah, it makes sense. You just don't want to be brought to that, memories,
Right, exactly.
and so just understandable.
Those weren't happy times. I want to stay as optimistic as possible. So,
Okay, nothing is wrong with that. Also, I'm about to bring you all the way back.
I'm
I
with it.
mean, all the way back to 2006.
So, I don't know if I remember 2006.
He's like, oh, wait, hold on. It's 2023. You trying to go to 2006? Yes, I'm trying to
Okay,
go
what
to
happened in
2006.
2006?
Well, you had a group that you formed called The Camp.
The
So,
camp?
yes, a rap group that you had with other individuals that you created in
You might be
2006.
referring to Notch. I don't know. 2006. You got me. I don't think you got it. It's called the camp.
Well, okay, so I might be pronouncing it wrong, but you had a group that you created. Do you remember that? A rap group.
Other than Notch, that's why I say it would have to be that.
Okay, then not. So what made you go solo? And how was it like creating a group? Like and
Well,
forming it?
I ain't quite. Oh, well, that's a little earlier than 2006. But you know what? I think you talking about. I want to say that was a title of of one of the tapes or something. The
Mm,
camp.
okay.
But that was a group from high school, and early on it was fun to to I guess to work with people that love doing what I love doing.
Mhm.
But in high school, this was more of a hobby. It was an
Mm, okay.
activity. So we all kind of had that in common that we all enjoyed rapping. And at some point, as life progressed, this became my life. Instead of it
Mhm.
just being what we do when we having fun, it became what I did at all times. It became the it was my career choice.
Mhm.
I was on a path, and I don't think any other person shared. Well, from that point in time, I don't think any of them shared that same aspiration.
Mm.
And I guess that's what drove me solo. The fact that it was no longer a mutual ambition.
Uh-huh.
I became the only one who was interested in progressing in it. And at some point, people say it all the time. Everybody can't come with you. Man, that's basically what it was.
Mm.
We all grew into different things. I don't quite know what they all decided to do in life, but music became what my life was, and I
Mhm.
wasn't stopping until I got where I was going. And even now, I'm in a greater place than I've ever been, but I'm still not. I ain't no. We cut the brake line a long time ago.
Well, I'm happy you didn't give up
Well,
and that
thank
you
you,
kept
thank you.
going because we wouldn't have your, musical
Oh,
talents and
indeed,
skills right
indeed.
now. So
I
I'm happy you
appreciate it.
kept going.
Yeah.
So also this year you have 55 million streams.
I didn't know that.
Yes, that's a lot of streams.
Huh.
That talks volumes on top of that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah,
So
that's pretty cool.
yeah, that is. So let's talk about, your single that you have, Mama's Revenge.
Yeah. Mama's Revenge is a record. Like when I create records, sometimes I don't have an idea in mind. Words just come out, then we name it later.
Mhm.
Mama's Revenge is one of them records. Like I said, I've been through a lot of adversity, I guess, in life, and through all of it, I guess sometimes you gotta like sit back and reflect and see how we got to certain spaces.
Mhm.
And through all of it, I think my mama, I think she deserves more credit. I'm not saying that I don't give her credit. That I don't mean it in that sense.
Mhm.
I feel like the world owes her more credit.
Mm. Okay.
But I feel like the only way you could see that is for me to highlight it first. And she had to endure things I don't know if I could have been able to overcome. And I'm not a woman, so
Mhm.
having two children by the time you're 18 is a whole nother
Mhm.
world for you, especially as a single parent,
Mhm.
especially when the odds are stacked against you. So I wanted to kind of showcase that in a sense, and I guess reward her, so to speak.
Okay.
Like we've been through a lot, and
Mhm.
even so, like a lot of what I'm doing, I do it because she didn't have any help. So
Okay.
I get to say we overcame certain adversities,
Mhm.
and we here, and it was a lot of people that didn't have a back that that might pretend to have my back, and it was like saying, I know I ain't in the dark about it. I'm an adult. I'm fully aware of
Uh-huh.
the circumstances and past prior situations. And I don't forgive or forget. So that was basically what I was saying. Some of this is because of what my mama went through.
Okay. Well, let's give Mama her flowers because she did a good job raising
Indeed,
you.
indeed. Well, I appreciate
So,
it.
it sounds like you just stated, she was a single mom,
Indeed.
so she must have worked all the time.
Yeah, she worked quite a bit. Shit, it was times she had 2 and 3 jobs sometimes.
Okay.
So yeah, that was something, and I wanted to make sure that she knew that I still appreciated it.
Okay, that's what's up. I like that. Also, you just got a distribution deal with
Right.
Connect Music. Let's talk about that.
Well, we started. Hmm, I want to say we sat and we worked it out in like December. I want to say,
Mhm.
and when I sat down with them, it's a lot of things that they do that I'm not really. I ain't used to having access to. So
Okay.
us sitting down, I would love to say that I'm a artist they weren't used to operating with, and vice versa. The company or the kind of artist they wasn't used to operating with, and vice versa. They the kind of company I wasn't used to operating with as
Mhm.
well, and we just meshed. They it's like it's truly team ball. Like they show up for just for everything, and they deliver, and that's more than you can ask for from any entity of people. And so far it's been great. We've been running, and when I sat and I told them I was gonna pump out music in the rate I've been pumping it out. I think it sounded fantastic in the true meaning of fantastic. Fantastic means unbelievable. It's so outrageous that it's
Mhm.
unbelievable. I think it was the same thing. I think it sounded fantastic, but nothing further than that. And once I started delivering, they started delivering as well. So it's been beautiful.
But that's a good thing because a lot of companies are not. too like fully invested in,
Yeah, a lot of
the
people, lot of companies say one thing and do the opposite. So
right.
it's great to be in a space where they do what they say and mean what they say.
Hmm. So also you have an album that you just dropped. It's called 1207 James Street.
Indeed.
It has peaked number 15 on iTunes. So what's
Oh, I didn't know that either.
yes, yes, you
Well, I don't pay
listen.
attention to the numbers. I don't want to become that person. Like
Mhm.
you start doing that, you start chasing it. You go now. We're going in the studio to make music like the last thing because the last thing was successful. I don't want to go in it like that. I don't want it to ever be about that for me. So
Mhm.
I don't know. I think I enjoy being able to create freely. I don't really want nothing to interfere with it or dictate what direction I go in.
Well, I want to know because that's the address, 1207
Right,
James
right.
Street. So what's the importance behind that address?
Well, a second ago we was talking about Church's Chicken. That's back when I was eating Church's Chicken. It
Okay.
was like it was walking distance. The block had a few restaurants we could access on foot.
Mhm.
But that was a point in my life. Well, possibly one of the darkest moments in my life. We didn't have much. My mama, I want to say, I don't think she had two jobs around that time. Either way, we lived. We lived in South Memphis. We lived in
Mhm.
it was a shotgun duplex. It was extremely small. It was narrow, and it was what, five of us in one house. Well, it wasn't a house, so five of us in half of a house.
Mm.
And it was that was like a moment in time where where I was less fortunate, probably the most less fortunate. And as I grew up, as I matured, that's always
Mhm.
been like a staple in my mind to that lets me know. They say never forget where you come from. That's always
Right.
my reminder. And I used to have nightmares, like I would wake up and we would still be there, and like that was my drive. That was my motivation to make sure that I never, like I know that in real time I wouldn't wind up in the same
Mhm.
duplex, but that was always my motivation to make sure I'm never in that space to be
Mm.
that low again. And again, like I said, mama did the best she could with what she had,
Mhm.
so there wasn't like no shot at her in no shape, form, or fashion. I think she'd agree that we've come a long way from 1207 James.
So did your family end up buying that house?
No, no, I don't think nobody has aspirations of doing such. That's not a that's not a ideal investment.
Mhm.
If like I get the real estate thing. You're looking at it from that aspect,
Uh huh.
but like even in my music, I know that like the basis of my music is me motivating or encouraging people to go and get paid. So in that sense, money would be the most important thing, but not so much when it comes to like if I own a property, I need the property to be the best living space.
Okay.
I don't want to own a property just so I can charge somebody rent. That's a different
Mm.
thing. So in that sense, I would have no interest in purchasing the property. But I doubt anybody I know. I want to say somebody told us that they just bought it, like random people. Once
Mm.
I put the album out, people DM
Oh
me and,
really?
and chime in and tell me all kinds of things I don't want to know. So
Oh, so you brought the property value up.
no, I think somebody bought it before I put that tape out.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think I don't think I can bring the property value up over there. So I think that would have to be some. They gotta make some great renovations to bring that. They nothing I can say is gonna do it.
So also, not only are you a rapper,
Indeed.
I know you be acting. We know you be acting.
Well,
So
no, not quite. I don't think I got any acting roles. Oh well, I
you
got
do.
that one cameo that I wasn't quite aware I was a cameo in, but I got no lines. I don't think.
Uh huh.
You said I don't think I got any lines on that on the only film that can be that I can be recognized in.
I mean, that still count. You was in it.
I guess, but that don't quite count as me acting. So I wouldn't call that. I would hope nobody credits that as like my acting debut or something, because cause I don't think I say anything in that.
So, do you see yourself acting in the future?
I don't know. I ain't opposed to it, but if ever I venture into that, I want to. I would have to do it right. Like go to acting school, acting class. I don't know how you do. I guess acting coach. But I would want to do it right. I wouldn't want to go about it. That's one of them things. I think that kind of stuff live forever. So I wouldn't want to half-ass it.
Okay, so also, have you written music for other artists? Because I know you're a writer. So, have you written music for other artists
Of
as well?
course, I write for quite a few people. I just I'm a ghostwriter in the sense in the true sense of being a ghost. So I don't I
Hmm.
don't promote it or publicize it.
Okay. Also, Starlito, I know that
Right.
y'all have worked together in the past, and I noticed last year you guys dropped a project as well. So,
No, I want to say his last Step Brothers tape was a while ago.
mhm,
Now he's been on quite a few of my current projects, of
right.
course, but I don't I don't know what date. Yeah, I'm pretty bad when it comes to those dates. So,
So, do y'all have any future projects that you guys will be dropping soon? You and Starlito?
well, we're working on one now. We're working on Step Brothers for Life. That's our
Okay.
fourth installment of the Step Brothers series. I can't really give it a date.
Uh-huh.
We don't really operate in that sense. We just work, and whatever comes from it comes from it.
Okay, well, we truly appreciate you for coming through.
Indeed, indeed. I appreciate
And
y'all for having me.
thank you. And like I said, he is truly a legend.
Indeed, I
Even
appreciate
I
it.
don't know if you know this, but like I stated, you are, and I put you in the same bracket
Yeah,
as the J. Cole's and the Kendrick Lamar's,
I
because like I
truly
said,
appreciate
you come with them. Like I'm
it.
serious, you be
Indeed,
coming with it, you be
I
spitting.
appreciate
So,
it.
but I really thank you and appreciate you again.
Indeed.
It was nice having you, and it was a
Same here,
pleasure.
same.